Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. Now, sometimes it sucks when your mind is in high gear. I've got things to do that I'm not getting done, but that's exactly where I'm at right now. Before I start on this issue, I've got to mention that censorship is rising. While I was uploading my last video, I got to notice that Facebook is going to start screening videos for copyright infringement. And many of my videos, I try to include, source reference materials, and they're all, attributed, but I expect that some of my videos will be taken down. Obviously, I'm on the radar now. So in the future, I may be quoting different reference material, tell you where I got the information from, but I'll probably include fewer screenshots so that the videos are not taken down. Let's get to the topic. Oil. Oil prices are going up. And we all know this. Last year, oil, gas prices in my immediate area actually went to slightly below $2 a gallon at one point, to about $1.99. Now we are expecting to see $4 a gallon gas by summer. Now the trick with this is that oil companies are restricting production. So what exactly does that mean? Well, first of all, it means that the oil jobs are not coming back. The living wage oil jobs are not coming back. Yes, the oil companies are going to post record profits again. And all the stockholders are going to receive record dividends again. More wealth flowing to the top. What does this mean downstream for all of us? Starting with they say, the economy is going to come roaring back and unemployment is declining. First of all, I want you to look at those unemployment numbers, even the ones they post. When they say unemployment has gone down, they're only looking at that compared to the previous week or so. So they're not looking at back to 2019. They're not looking at wages. Yeah, many of the jobs that have been lost, not just in 2020, but in 2019. We'll have more jobs. I don't know where those jobs are really going to be when thousands of corporate chains are closing locations and hundreds of thousands of small businesses have closed their doors. Where are those jobs going to be? But in more terms, the jobs that are being created are at lower wages than they used to be. And there are fewer of them. If you used to have 2 or 3 jobs that took your time away from your family, or even, extracurricular, activities, whatever it may be, from karaoke to playing golf to baseball, getting together with your friends to watch a football game. More of your time will be taken away from all of that. So just making a living, staying above water, if you can manage that, is going to be harder. Right now, it's expected that another 20,000 to 25,000 corporate outlets are expected to close their doors this year. Where are those jobs? The people that were working in those oil jobs, making a living wage, are now going to be having to take jobs at much lower pay. Even if your pay remains the same. My last video I talked about, there's more millionaires than ever in this country, even though that doesn't mean anything anymore when the dollar is so drastically devalued. Even if you compare it to, 5 years ago, people talk about today more fuel efficient cars, more fuel efficient, furnaces and air conditioners in their homes. Well, okay, if it's 25 to 30% more efficient, but your bill, you will see, if you change to anything like this, you will see a benefit in the short term. Your fuel bill, your utility bill may decline somewhat. It'll be lower than it was a year ago. But take a look at your utility bills from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and look how much your utility bill has increased in that time. For environmental reasons and so forth, yes, and even economic reasons, I absolutely advocate more fuel efficient, electricity efficient technologies. But what is it really saving us? When your utility bill has increased by, 75, 100% over 5 years, and your wages have increased by 5 or 10%, or not at all. As fuel prices rise, we are going to see downstream effects. I've already said that the food supply is being limited, even reduced significantly because of weather events and insect swarms, etc., which means more countries are competing for the same resources. This drives the prices of any commodity up. That's to begin with. Our food prices in the past year have increased by as much as 25%. Now, with fuel prices rising, you will see the effects on your utility bill, on your food bill. Transportation. It will be reflected in entertainment costs. You expect to see a rise in that. When fuel costs more and, capitalist entities all demand to make not only an equal profit, but a higher profit than before, If fuel goes up by 50%, and then capitalist entities downstream from that want to increase their profits, they'll add another 10%. So your price just went up by 60%. You know, yeah. So when you talk about gas being less than $2, okay, yes, last year, and we're expecting $4 a gallon gas this year. And this year, this isn't something far off. This is on its way there, and it is intentionally, purposefully on its way there with no concern for what effects it will have on real human beings. That is a 100% increase in the cost of gas. A 100% increase. I used to work in convenience stores in the 90s, and I saw people then that had to scrape together change and come in with a bucket of change to put fuel in their vehicles, sometimes new vehicles. They were already in the position that the cost of their vehicle took so much away from them that they could barely afford to drive it. And I've been in that position. I'm sure many of you watching have been in that position. If you have to skip meals to be able to afford gas to get to work, how many more meals can you skip? Factor in also the cost of consumer goods has also increased. The tariffs on other countries remain in place. Biden has not reversed any of those tariffs. So we've seen increases in the price of consumer goods. And I've already said, as warehouses empty from existing stores, then to replace those stores is going to cost the stores more money, the retail stores more money to replace the existing stores' products, which means that cost is going to filter down to you. Lumber has increased by as much as 400% during this construction boom that is going on. Well, that's a temporary thing. That's going to end very soon. But, for contractors that already have contracts signed, they are committed to deliver the end product at a particular price. And yet, with fuel prices rising, the cost to the contractor becomes lower and lower. That means that to maintain a profit, they're going to have to lay off more workers, or they're going to suffer decreased profits. Think about independent contractors. It's going to cost them more money for fuel. All of their equipment requires fuel to get to the job site, to deliver products, the building materials to the job site. Now, sometimes they can pass on some of that, but in many cases, they quote a certain price. I will do this work for this price. They're committed to that. And they have to do it. And that means all the fuel, getting all this stuff to the job site, and then running much of their equipment, generators and so forth, to build things. It's going to cut into their bottom line. And some independent contractors are barely above water. We can see a lot of small businesses closing up shop because of the increase in oil prices right now. You know, from independent contractors to restaurants, which will have to increase their prices, grocery stores, which have to keep refrigeration going and lighting going at all times. You know, you're going to see more layoffs as a result of the increase in fuel prices. If your pay isn't going up, you're going to buy fewer products, which means it's less profitable for them to maintain their current level of employment. Whenever we hear of something, you know, even if it doesn't affect us immediately, and we can say, well, okay, I can afford that. But can your neighbor afford that? Can the person already in line for a food bank afford that? Can the person that, is no longer unemployed, but they're making minimum wage, can they afford that? All these things have a drastic effect. And where is it all going? We know where it's going, all up to the top. Anyway, share this video. Talk about these subjects. Talk about it in real human terms, which is what I always try to do in every video. Everything is approached from a humanistic subject. I want you to feel what other people are feeling. And if you relate to what I am saying, I want you to know you're not alone in what you are feeling, what you're experiencing, all the struggles that you are going through, because so many Americans are going through it. So share this video, talk about these subjects. This is the only way we change anything, is if we're discussing it. If you can, which is unlikely, but if you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel. I'll catch you in the next one.